Disclaimer, this is a topic that goes way deeper in the depth I'm diving into in this video. This video is not a breakdown of Jacksonville gang politics. In this video, my plan is to take an overall look at Slugga Tee's legacy and comment on what I feel could have led him into getting involved in street politics and what makes him the most crash-out likely artist of all of Jacksonville. Thanks, I hope you enjoy. Young and Reckless, sometimes referred to as Young and Ruthless, is a gang/music collective based out of the south side of Jacksonville, and is one half of the gang alliance that goes by KTA, or Kill Them All. You might already be aware of the second crew in the alliance, 6 Block, as Fulvio and many other prominent artists are from that side. But for this video, I like to mainly focus on one of the two biggest artists in Y&R, that being Slugga Tee. Originally, I was going to do a video on both Mookie and Slugga Tee, but Slugga Tee was so interesting in his backstory and lore that I decided, fuck it, I'll just make a single video on him. To start off, Slugga Tee is the definition of a Florida man. Slugga was born into a family of crime, literally. There's no better example of this than his grandmother. His grandmother was a woman by the name of Robin Colombo. If that name sounds familiar, that's because she was one of the shot callers in the Colombo crime family. Yes, Slugga Tee has literal mob ties to the most famous Italian mob in existence, like Lucky Luciano and shit. I am 70% sure that the family isn't active anymore, and aren't really clicked up with the Y&R street gang, but there are articles to show that his grandma has ties with Colombian drug smugglers, and they could still be in business, we just don't know. And I ain't no fucking Fed, I ain't looking any deeper, I ain't trying to get shot, fuck all that. Given that Slugga Tee's grandmother was already in the criminal world, it wouldn't take long for Slugga Tee to gain a keen interest in all things criminal. This would be exacerbated by a tragedy that would happen in 2013. When Tee was age 11, Slugga Tee's cousin, a girl by the name of Megan Simmons, and her close friend Jasmine Shelton were gunned down brutally in a drive-by shooting, neither of which were even over the age of 14 at the time. The worst part of it all was, due to the incompetence of Jacksonville PD, the shooter would never be caught. This would cause Slugga Tee's whole family to gain a resentment for the police, and it caused them to look more into street justice than criminal justice. This was said to have had a profound effect on Slugga Tee when he was younger, and was probably what made jumping into the streets an easy, no-brain decision that it was. It led to Slugga gaining a more protective ideology. He needed to be the one to defend his family and his block by any means necessary, because as he saw it, if he wasn't gonna do it, no one was. Like many other crews in Jacksonville, Slugga and Mookie started off just goofing around the neighborhood as kids, joining sports and playing football till around the age of 13, when the team started to get more criminally active. I've seen it said that Y&R were directly beefing with J-Dot and them at the time, off the football shit, but I have literally no evidence of this, so I could just be straight BSing through that. I have no idea. Slugga Tee is the textbook example of a career criminal, always getting into trouble, always getting into fights. In fact, Slugga Tee got his name because apparently he could throw crazy ass punches and could fight anyone even with his skinny ass stature. Around the age of 15, Tee would go on to drop his first ever song titled Hot Shit. While not the best first song out of all the artists I've covered, it's nowhere near terrible. Bro's hair could deadass catch bullets with how thick that shit is, and he looks like an 80s narco character for real if I'm being honest. Getting away from this curly motherfucker's hair, the gang war in Jacksonville would kick off at a Y&R function. Both Mookie and Slugga Tee were throwing a house party when the rival crew, ATK, led by Young and Ace, would show up and start some shit. In the fallout of the argument, shots were fired at Mookie, apparently grazing his skin, with Slugga Tee wasted no time shooting back. While no one was shot, this served to be the spark that ignited the gang war in Jacksonville and led to the entirety of the drill scene. After the shooting, both sides would take to social media to meme on the other for not hitting anything. It's like watching stormtroopers argue about who has better accuracy. Y'all both can't hit shit, shut the fuck up. To up the antique level, Slugga Tee decided it was a lovely day to drive through ATK's, more specifically, Queso's hood on IG Live. You know, just to tap in with the city, feel the breeze, and meme on the rivals. Though he ended up leaving the live early and looked a bit nervous, so perhaps he saw something he shouldn't have. General Jacksonville antics, we will never know. Little side note, Queso ain't the one to play with. That motherfucker's in jail right now for walking down and facing a 16-year-old kid. I wouldn't play fuck around and find out games with that man. That's just me though. I mean, live your life, but don't take your life, if you know what I'm saying. The other gang member in the car with Slugga Tee during the live was a man who went by the name of Lil 9, who you might remember from the Who I Smoke chorus. Yeah, you know where this is going. A few months after the IG Live, shooters would pull up to the side of a car with Lil 9 in it and light up the car mafia style. Lil 9's car would crash into an AutoZone type store, and Lil 9's friends would make videos of them trying to resuscitate him, though sadly, there was nothing that could be done for him. Queso would go on to mock Lil 9's death endlessly, and this sent Slugga Tee over the edge. T would get way more reckless with the shootings and kinda dumb because he'd use said guns in music videos, which is what led to Operation Wrap Up, a police takedown that saw both Mookie and Slugga arrested for the guns they had in their music videos. Slugga Tee was released for a very short amount of time in 2020 before he violated his probation once again by police looking through other Y&R members' phones and seeing a picture of him holding up a rifle, which is a direct violation of his probation and sent him right back to jail. I don't know which of the dumb motherfuckers in the car that got pulled over gave the officers access to their phones, but that motherfucker should be labeled a rat because that's super fucking wild to me. That's common knowledge. Don't give them access to your phone. They're gonna find something. Off of this charge, Slugga Tee would end up getting sentenced to 7 years in jail, all because of his friends are dumb as fuck and allowed the phone search. Will say, posing with firearms while out on bond is still fucking dumb, but like, come on. Be loyal and smart when you get pulled over. You're gang members, not fucking dummies. There are many rumors, both on the Reddit and just in general, that Slugga Tee was there for the Young & Ace birthday shooting that left Young & Ace's best friends and brother dead. Though I don't want to say he was in it definitively, as I'm not a fed and it's not my job to solve crimes. But if he did play a part in it, it makes sense as he gained hella rank in the crew itself, and this would have been a big operation to be a part of streetwise. Slugga Tee also has a lot of interrogation footage online, as the Florida Sunshine Laws allow people to request and see all criminal interrogations as long as they aren't minors at the time. In these interviews, you can definitely tell that T is very familiar with the criminal jail process, as he keeps it solid and doesn't say anything to incriminate himself or his people. Wish his dumbass friends would've did the same, but oh well. Music-wise, I don't have that much to say on Slugga Tee. Though I do like his music, I feel it's not the thing that draws most people to him as an artist. T has this kinda outlaw allure with how he carries himself and how his story is played out, and I for one can attest to that with all the research I've been doing. This video was originally going to be longer and go over both Mookie and Slugga Tee, but I think Slugga's story was so interesting that I decided to just make a video on him and do Mookie at a later date. My next video is probably going to be a video on LaCracker, if I can find good info on him, that is. But if not, it's going to be a Tampa artist or somebody else. It's going to be somebody in Florida probably. If you like this video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing with the bell to be notified of all my future releases. I tend to drop videos every Wednesday at 2 PM Eastern Standard Time, though I will update y'all in the community tab for whenever it's early or late. That being said, y'all want to see anybody, just comment them, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. Peace out, chill out.